Facebook and other, outfits, a lot of questions being asked: do two wrongs make right? The young people in Nigeria, in the name of freedom of expression, crossing their boundaries. I personally felt the comparison of Aisha's former previous pictures and current pictures may not be something that I would personally do, or ask any young man to do. I believe the young people in Nigeria should be thinking about their future. They have to, think about infrastructure, education, job security, skills development and national development. The past 7 years, despite the promises by the APC officials that if they get power, they will turn Nigeria into Dubai of South, didn't really work out because of bad road, electricity, security, and corruption. And actually, fundamentally, social media can be a tool for development and can be a tool for disaster. Mm-hmm. But the expectation from many people, as regards the First Lady, being a mother, being a leader, she should also have a forgiving spirit. Forgive the young man.
Forgiving in what sense? Has any court of law found that man to have violated law or defamed?
Beyond that, I'm talking about the moral angle. This is somebody.
That's the question we're asking.
Well, let me finish. This is somebody.
I want you to clarify.
Okay, let me clarify.
Now,
this guy is...
wait. What I want you to clarify is that she should forgive the young man that the two wrongs do not make a right. Has any court established the fact that the guy was wrong in making that statement?
And then look at the statement. I know you don't understand Hausa, but
what's the English translation?
The English translation is that look at how she's looking big because she has eaten public money.
And we know the First Lady is being fed with taxpayers' money.
But is that what young people should be discussing? Let's be very open and honest.
So if
as a young person, should we be talking about fuel pump prices?
He has a choice over what he wants to comment.
But
he's a taxpayer, and part of his money is being used to feed Aisha Buhari. And if he passes a comment on it, if Aisha Buhari or anybody thinks it's defamatory, you go to court. It's only a court that will establish the fact. I'm not saying he's right that he didn't defame her, but it's only a court that will establish that fact.
You allow me to finish what I started, Amechi. She should have a forgiving spirit. She's old enough to be a mother to this young man. And then secondly, the young people should learn to hold those in the position of authority responsible for the road in Nigeria. Aisha Buhari is not holding any political office, but we expect her as a mother, as a leader, to forgive this young man. This backlash we've been experienced from the media is not very necessary.
Good morning, Amici. Well, maybe we'll stay with the Aisha issue for a while.
Which is a needless distraction.
Yeah, in a way, but Mobutu Sese Seko said freedom of expression is guaranteed, but freedom of speech is guaranteed, but freedom after speech.
It's Idi Amin of Uganda.
Okay, Idi Amin of Uganda, I mean to say. So, is that what is practiced in Nigeria today? Freedom after speech is not guaranteed. Well, while some persons see the issue of this indiscriminate posting, insulting our leaders on social media platforms is not welcome, we also know that the leaders know that they have failed in certain areas which provoke such postings. So what Mustafa is driving at is that the moral aspect of it should be imbibed by the First Lady. She's First Lady, whether you want to call her by that
wife of the president. There is no position known as the First Lady, because the woman in your house is your First Lady, isn't she?
Yes, Ayamichi, this young man is a young man like one of us, and we know that he's going to start his exam. So what Mustafa is asking is temper justice with mercy. Let the wife of the president pull, if that issue is inside any secret trial, or the boy has been committed to a prison yard or whatever, the wife of the president should temper justice with mercy and because he's overheating.
The same question I asked.
The moves is overheating the situation now.
I asked Mustafa, when you say temper justice with mercy, the point you beg the judge to temper justice with mercy is when a person someone undergoing trial has been found guilty and the court is about to sentence. Before sentences, the lawyer will now say, please temper justice with temper justice with mercy. Has the boy been, who tried that boy?
Culturally.
Or is it based on your own moral setting that you're using to assume that the boy is wrong?
Culturally, you can read it between the lines if a younger person is insulting you. Culturally, probably that is why the government is considering bringing back mother tongue, because mother tongue transmits a lot of respect and cultural traditional respect for seniors. We are not holding brief for the young man.
I know if someone insults you, what do you do?
And that is why Mustafa is bringing the issue of forgiveness. You warn the child.
No,
you caution the child. You chastise. The Bible talked about chastisement. What
happened with this case was that the young man, according to reports, 2 days ago on this program, we challenged the presidency to speak up so that we'll be well guided. All the allegations against the first lady, we have not heard her own side of the story. So we presume that all the allegations are right till there's a counter.
Are you even sure she's carried along with all this?
The young man was arrested and taken to the villa and tortured. That's the report we had. And we begged, come and deny this. Yeah, come and deny or accept it, and nothing has happened. Now, if that is the case, if someone insults you, do you arrest the person, beat the person, and take the person to the police? Are there no constitutional basis, legal basis to deal with those issues?
Amici, good morning, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to comment on national issues. Indeed, this is actually a national issue. It might seem like it's a distraction, like we said earlier, but it brings to the fore the issue of, for those of us who are journalists, media law and ethics. How do we x-ray all of this? And one key thing we need to know is that the law of defamation is still very fresh. When I say fresh, it's still in the statute books. And let's not forget that a few years ago, the Nigerian Senate, through a private member bill, tried to regulate social media. And we know what happened last year when the president made a comment and Twitter flagged that comment, pulled it down, and all of us in Nigeria for months, we were not able to use Twitter. The social responsibility theory, which those of us who did media studies must bring to the fore when it concerns these issues. Right to speech, guaranteed in our constitution, and there's responsibility that must go with right of speech. I will want us to look at these issues from the perspective. We've run with some reports which we have not confirmed. We have a correspondent in the villa. Even if he does not tell us pointedly that he got the report that Madam Aisha Buhari got some security agents together and they were torturing a young man who allegedly, did so and so. We need to be able to verify it so that we don't fly with the meal. But there's no dispute on the fact. Make sure I know the passion which you are speaking, because you covered the Nigerian seat of power for 10 good years and you know the workings of the place. And probably you have some information we do not have, based on the fact that you're saying he was tortured. So what we need to do is to ensure that we look at these issues from the perspective. Now that we are hearing that he has been arraigned, let him have his day in court. That's my viewpoint. Let him prove and say, look, ma, you are, like Amici has said, and I agree totally, you are being fended for with public force. Look at the budget. There's a line head. There's a line head there for the quotes. And we remember when she came in, the presidency told us nothing about office of the first lady. And suddenly, when a key man there passed on, we see the designation and the title. So, Mrs. Buhari is in the public eye, and those who are members of the public have a right to look at her and say certain things. However, like I said, there is right and there is responsibility. Ethically, that's where I stand on this issue.
David.
Yeah, Amechi, good morning to you. Good morning, listener. Perhaps we will not have the opportunity to discuss other things.
That's why I said there are development issues, there are issues of poverty that we should concentrate on. And rather, we are wasting time on you insulted me, I didn't insult you. But let's go. But the importance, like Shola said, is that because it's a human rights issue, it's an issue that could have been any other person. So to that extent, we can dwell on it.
Yes, Amici, the charges this young man is facing are not charges of defamation. From what we've read, they are talking about him stalking, the wife of the president on social media, which most likely
stalking.
Yes, which
tell us the meaning of stalking. To stalk.
It's more of a harassment, more of
always following someone.
Social media,
where you're not
calling her
wanted.
out.
Yes,
social media.
And this falls under this, cybercrime, and all of that.
2015.
So, and it will definitely be the state versus the defender, not the.
Is that a criminal charge?
Under the cybercrime, obviously, it is. Because in defamation, you and I know that there are certain things that need to be established. Why would he want to defend the first lady, and those things cannot easily be established under this circumstance. I mean, one important thing is, this happened between May and June. And between that May and June, it was in, this young man was, his school, Federal University, Gusau, Damaturu,
yes.
Federal University,
Jigawa State, was on strike. Perhaps if the school was not on strike at the time, the young man would have been busy with his books, too busy to start thinking of, putting up such as it were. We're being told that he was denied bail yesterday. Perhaps the application will be, heard today. Mike, I've been trying to see when he was arrested, because this has been in the media for a long time, when he was arrested and the arraignment yesterday, which means as from when he was arrested to yesterday, we have constitutional established time frame within which he should be taken before the court of law, and all of that. Was that breached? These are some of the issues, that eventually I want to believe that at the end of the day, even if it's a civil case, his lawyers and all of that can put up, moving forward. But clearly, this is something that can be avoided. It is. I think it's just it's just for the wife of the president or his aide or whoever. Just put a call to the police or whichever agency is prosecuting the young man. Please drop this. It's not necessary. It's not. It doesn't.
I'm sure there are 1,001 of such posts on social media.
Whatever he put up does not take a hair out of the head of or the body of the wife of the president. And like you said, it's a distraction. And there are several issues, because at the end of the day, if this issue of torture and all of that, even if you prosecute him, you found him guilty and all of that, he also has rights. Like I said, the issue of when he was arrested, when he was brought before the court, whether he was tortured.
Whether there's a magistrate that gave a remand
and all. So these are some of the issues that clearly,
But why I raised my voice and wanted some of my other colleagues, and I tried to probe them further, when they sounded as if the guy is guilty. And I said, we can't stand here and stand over judgment.
He's innocent
over judgments over the young man. Asking the wife of the president to forgive. You forgive when a wrong has been established. You don't assume on your own that there is a wrong and now ask to. At the end of the day, we'll know who will have cause to apologize to each other. At the end of the day. Because rights, I'm passionate about rights, and I say in democracy, the only thing that is guaranteed is your right. Myself was arrested illegally by an assistant inspector general of police.
Controversial word.
Almost 9 years ago for calling a serving police officer controversial. So when we don't, if I felt the pain, I felt the humiliation of being arrested and detained and the trauma, and I don't wish anybody to go through it. And when I see such cases, the due process of the law, it was clearly stated that if there's a defamation, there are steps you take. You don't become law unto yourself
exactly.
Because of, do you know who I am? I'm in this position. It doesn't tally.
If in a case of defamation, yes, it is the person who is defamed that will go to court, and it's a civil matter.
No, some they say it's a criminal matter in FCT. So that's sedition. My time. These are part of the things I heard. For the states, if they talk of states, it's a civil matter. But for Federal Capital Territory, I was told it's a criminal matter. Our lawyer friends can guide us.
If it's sedition, and there have been several cases that have been judgments that have been made on that matter, the issue of sedition, whether it's still valid or not in Nigerian law.
Okay, let's go for a break. When we come back, your meals, and we look at the poverty in Nigeria. Who's responsible? Local, state, or